guys, Jammer Supercoach here. Today in this video I'll be showing you my first team reveal for 2025 and yeah, I know this is late, I'm sorry for that, but yeah, I've just been focused on other things, like my life's been pretty busy at the moment, so yeah, I just had lots of other things to do, and even with NBL Supercoach I've been doing that too, so I've been pretty occupied with that. But yeah, now I'm starting to really get into the spirit of AFL. I'm getting ready for it to come back. I really want it back. So I've been brainstorming a bit with my team, and this is what I've dished up. So let's just go through it. First up, of course, we have Harry Sheezel. I think this is as closest to a lock as you can get. I mean, this guy is one of the greatest young talents I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was his second year last year, and he averaged, buddy. How much did he average? 118 Supercoach, so yeah, that in your second year is just outrageous. And he can literally, the best thing about Sheezel is he can score anywhere on the field. Like, this man played halfback, which we know is an easy role to score from, and he scored really well. And there was concerns because they were playing him even like half forward for a while. They moved him down to like the half forward line for a little bit, and he was still tunning up week after week. It was not having an effect on Sheezel. And then he went into the midfield and he just started going bananas again. So I think Sheezel's the type of player who will score well absolutely anywhere he plays. So he's just an absolute must-have in my opinion. He had some big games last year, and I still think he can only go up from here, Sheezel. Unless like an unexpected injury or something bad happens, I can't see that much changing for Sheezel. So he's a lock, no bar, nothing too. Then we got Jack Sinclair, and this might be a bit of a hot take, but I think this guy's also a lock because similar to Sheezel, this guy can literally play anywhere. Like, he plays midfield, he plays halfback, and he can just score well in both of those positions. So it's not really a worry. But now that they've got like McRae and Philippou, who are gonna get more midfield time, I think Sinclair will go back to his original halfback role. And don't get me wrong, he's still a great midfield scorer, but I definitely think halfback is where he thrives the most. So a full year at halfback, I think she's looking to get back to the days where, if we go to 2023, 2022, he was averaging like 114 here. So yeah, I think he can get back to these sort of scoring days. And it's not that he's been scoring bad recently. Like he averaged 110 last year, so he hasn't been scoring bad. But I think he could get back to his absolute best, and I think 592k is an absolute steal for him. So he's going to be a good get. He's also got a very good buy. Then we got Jordan Clark. Yeah, I love Jordan Clark. I think he's a very entertaining player. You just love watching him. His run and gun is superb. He's very, very good to that Fremantle team. And I don't know. I've got a great feeling about this pig. He served me well towards the end of last year, where he was just turning up pretty much every week. And now I think with Luke Ryan maybe not taking as much as a dominant, like, cherry picking role as he was last year, as we saw. Because like towards the end of the second half of last year, Luke Ryan was sort of like, um, what's the word? It was just sort of like, he wasn't cherry picking and like stat padding as much. That's the word. But yeah, and when that happened, Clark just really exploded. Like, if we look at the stretch here, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight tons, and these are a couple bad games. But I don't know what happened here. I think he got tagged this game, and this game was just a bad game. So we'll forget those last two. But he went like 6, 7 straight tons when Luke Ryan wasn't playing such a ball dominant role. So Jordan Clark, I think he's an absolute get. I don't see Luke Ryan going back to that massive stat padding player he once was. I think Freo are gonna keep this sort of game style, and I think Jordan Clark is really gonna explode next year. He's still very young. He trains his ass off, and I really rate. He's a beautiful kick of the footy. So I think this guy's gonna also explode next year. But I'm still umming and ahhing about him, as you could tell by that discussion. Like, I'm not 100% on him yet. Then we got Bo Allen, Sardal Hoey, and Jabal Slinger. Now, these guys are just some rookies that I think will get good game time. I'm very confident on Sardal Hoey because I've heard great stuff about him, even when he was just drafted. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident in these guys. But you might be wondering, like, where's your Callum Mills? Where's your actual Kitty Coleman's injured now, but where's your Callum Mills? And to be honest, I don't trust Callum Mills. And no, it's not that I don't want Callum Mills. Like if I had the chance to get him, I probably would. But I just feel like I don't want to be going for mid-price madness if I'm being honest, because I feel like 90% of the teams this year are going to be going for mid-price madness. So I think maybe I've got to do something different and go more guns of rookies in the forward line and in the back line and the midfield. The forward line's all mid prices because that's where the money is. But I think in the defense and the midfield, guns and rookies is going to do me right, and it'll just be a nice little pod move that'll set me away from the rest of the pack. So hopefully that can do me right. Hopefully I can go against the pack and gain a one up on everybody when the year starts. So yeah, that's why I haven't picked that many mid prices in the back line and midfield. But yeah, those are my rookies there. Billy Wilson, oh, look, this is probably not my best rookie pick, but I just have him in there for now because with the news of Newman going down, I think Wilson's definitely in to get some game time because, he's been tearing it up in the VFL. He gets like 25 plus. I'm a Carlton supporter, so I know quite a lot about this. So he gets like 25 plus a game in the VFL, and he's not the greatest kick of the footy, but he's a really fast, explosive, exciting player. So I feel like he's young. I feel like they're going to give him some time, and hopefully, if we're lucky, maybe they'll start him at the start of the season. But I don't know quite yet. But I just think with Newman going down, he actually is a chance now. And if he gets the time, I think he will do pretty well. I think he could definitely push out. If he does play more than 10 plus matches next year, I think he could definitely average 60 plus. So he could definitely be a good rookie. So I just got him in there now, Billy Wilson. If worst case scenario, I could just flip him to a Caleb Smith, who apparently has been tearing it up at Richmond, a halfback. Then we got James Leake. Yeah, I can't lie. I literally know nothing about this bloke. I just know lots of people have him, so he's just in there for now. Marcus Bonampelli, and look, it's the Bon. You can't not select him. He is an absolute miracle maker. I don't care how old he is. Oh, he's not even that old. He's like 30 now, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. He has been injured for a little bit this preseason, but I think that's mainly because they know what a star player he is, and they're not going to risk him getting some crazy injuries. And we know the way Bont is. Like, Bont could be sick the whole week, not train, and then he'll come out the next game and he'll score, but he wants, like, I think, which game was it? He was sick the whole week, and I think it was this one. He scored a 162 in round 14 when he was like sick the whole week. So we know what Bont can do, even if he's not training in the preseason. I do not care. I want him for round one because this guy is capable of anything. And worst case, this guy goes like what 115, 110 average. Either way, I think that's a keeper in the midfield. So there's not much downside with the Bonampelli pick, and I think you just have to get him for his upside. But that's the Bont. And we got Zach Butters. Yeah, I can't see anyone not picking him this year. He is a star. I love watching him. He's so entertaining. He's so courageous. He's a very clean play. He's fast as, got very fast hands, fast hand to boot. So yeah, I reckon this guy is just a must get. He went crazy last year. He averaged 120, playing full midfield, and 2023. Yeah, 2023 he didn't play full midfield and he still averaged 113. This was his first ever full midfield year, and he averaged 120. And he's still very young. I think the only way is up for Zach Butters, and he's just going to be Port Adelaide's franchise cornerstone player for a very long time. Then we got Caleb Sarong. Yeah, these are my three big guys: Bont, Butters, and Sarong in the midfield. So these are my guys that I'm going to be keeping the whole season, and they're going to be in my captain rotation. They're just going to be like the certified performers. Yeah, I'm getting Caleb Sarong just because similar situation as Butters. Played full mid last year, went nuts, averaged like 116. So yeah, he averaged 116. So yeah, he's still young. He's only got upside, I reckon. He's a very contested player, so that helps him with Supercoach, and usually he has pretty good efficiency. Yeah, and he's just an absolute ball magnet. And I could pick Brayshaw instead of him, who's a bit lower in price, But the thing is with Brayshaw is he's just like, because he's such a versatile player, like he really plays well anywhere he goes. So I feel like they'll maybe chuck him on a wing, or they could even chuck him in the back line or forward line. They probably wouldn't do that, but they'll probably put him on a wing. And look, he'd still score okay, but I just feel like the upside's definitely a lot better with Sarong playing full midfield. He would probably cop the tag a little bit, Sarong, but that's no problem. I think he can get through it. Yeah, no, I don't think they'll take him every game. They might go for Brayshaw one game, and they might go for Sarong. My thing's glitching here. Let me just reset it. Then we got Clayton Oliver. Look, I'm very confident in Clayton Oliver. I think with a full preseason under his belt, he's going to get his body right. Look, if I'm being completely and harshly honest, he was fat last year. He was really fat, and he didn't have enough stamina to even, like, he just looked shit and slow. But I think he's going to work his ass off this off-season, and I think he has been. So hopefully he can get his body back into that prime shape it once was. And if that's the case, we know what this guy's scoring is capable of. I'm not even going to get into what he can do. But worst case, I think this guy averages maybe 90 this year, and then we could trade him out like later on. But I think Oliver can definitely return to those good days. Last year was just a bit of a off year for him, but I think full preseason under his belt, he's going to work his ass off. He's going to get fit, and he's going to return to being that ball magnet player that we all once loved, Clayton Oliver. Then we got Adam Chera. Now this is a very pod pick. Most people would have probably like Ashcroft in this spot, but I'm going Adam Chera. Like the thing I'm thinking here with Adam Chera is because I can flip him to Will Ashcroft if the pick goes wrong, but after Will Ashcroft's bye, so I can get 3 games out of Chera and then pick up Ashcroft after his second game. So it sort of makes sense to start Chera and then worst case move him to Ashcroft because of the bye. But I'm also starting Chera just because last year he was very clouded by injuries, and the year before he averaged like 110, and he was showing great signs of potential. And everyone thought he was going to explode next year. But look, it was just a very underwhelming year. He had a hamstring issues for basically the whole year. But the main thing about this pick is that Chera went to Qatar to get his hamstring fixed. And I don't know if you guys saw last year, but Jeremy McGovern and Elliot Yeo both went to Qatar last year, and whenever players go to Qatar, they just turn into Superman. Like Elliot Yeo and Jeremy McGovern, who have been down by injuries for years, both averaged like I think Yeo averaged 105 and McGovern averaged like 110. So they both averaged very good numbers after going to Qatar, and they turned into Superman. So if Adam Chera's gone to Qatar, I think he could definitely get back to his best, if not better. I think Chera could really explode. He's training with Noah Walsh, so he's basically the main distributor in that midfield, Adam Chera. So I think with a full preseason of him training as the main distributor, he will just explode. After going to Qatar, his body will be right and healthy. He'll stop getting those injuries, and he will be a seriously good player. So I think Chera is going to be a great pod pick, and that's why I've got him in my team. Jagger Smith, Sid Draper, Josh Millen. Not too much explanation to do about this. I just think they're great rookies who have got very good potential, high draft picks. Travalia, same thing. Erasmus, don't know much about this. Just know he's a good scorer when he gets the opportunities, but um, he's got the forward DPP as well, so it's good to have it there. Sam Marshall, apparently he's been tearing it up at Brisbane training, so I just said, okay, we'll get him in. Hopefully he's a surprise pack to start the season. Then we've got Tristan Jerry. I think this guy's a must. He went nuts, and he killed me not to have towards the end of last year. Like, this guy was on a fucking tear. Look at this run, man. I mean, this guy, he scored 100 for 100 or more for 13 games straight. What a fucking jet. We just got to get this guy, and no matter what his price, he's playing the main ruck role, is going to be superb. Deconning, I could change this to a Darcy, because I think Pitternet might be in our starting team for round 1, and Pitternet might play dual ruck with Deconing. If not, I'm getting Deconing, because we know the upside's going to be so great when he plays as the main ruck. Worst case, though, if Pitternet plays, I'm just going to switch him to Darcy. And Harry Boyd, now this is an absolute stonker of a pick because he's been training as the main ruck, and they're using Marshall a bit more down forward. So if he can play main ruck this year, what an absolute pick that would be. Jason Horn-Francis, I'm very iffy about this pick. Like, I'm not sure if he's going to get that much mid-time, but look, he's the best out of a bad bunch in the forward line, and I feel like I have to have one primo in the forward line. So, Horn-Francis, you're just going to be there for now. He's still young. I think he'll have a, nah, I think he'll have a better season than last year. If he can average just more than 100, that's more. Like, if he can average 99%, if he can average exactly what he did last year, that's fine in the forward line, I reckon. Because we got people like McRae, Smith, and Philippou, and Daniel, who I think will all go nuts in the forward line. Like, the mid-price selection in the forward line this year is insanity. Jack McRae, he has been tearing it up at preseason for St Kilda. He's back to his full mid-roll, and we know the scorer that McRae is. I'm not even going to get into this shit. McRae is a must-have in your team. He's going to average 110. That's my call. I don't even care what anyone thinks. He will average 110. And there's no discussing about that. 110 or more for Jack McRae. Then we got Bailey Smith. Not as confident about Bailey Smith just because he's been injured for such a long time, but I think he could definitely do well in the Geelong midfield, given it's pretty weak. So hopefully he can be that main distributor, ball winner sort of guy. So yeah, Bailey Smith. Then we got Mateus Philippou. He's going to go absolutely nuts. He's been tearing it up at the training, and he's playing full midfield. We saw how good he went last year playing full midfield towards the end of the season. And then we see Caleb Daniel. Yeah, he's going to be playing halfback at North Melbourne. And those words, halfback at North Melbourne, say enough for itself. So we don't need to explain that. Hewitt, Kako, Stone, good rookies. Think they're going to get good game time. They're going to be pretty good. And for my flex, I got Levi Ashcroft. Just because I think out of the draftees, I think he's got the highest chance of not only getting game time, but I think scoring well. I think they might even use him at a halfback or something. Like, actually, no, that's stupid. I don't think they'll do that. I just think he'll be the best scoring rookie out of all these guys. So it'll be good to have as a flex. So he can come on and deliver some good scores and whatnot. So yeah, that is my team for 2025. It's a bit of a scratchy draft. Like, it's not perfect, but I've got an idea of what I want to do. And I think the real problem that I had last year was that I didn't really have a strategy. Like, I just came into the year doing what everyone else was doing and doing some other random shit. So it just wasn't the smartest play for me. And whereas this year, I feel like I've got a decent strategy. I'm going against the pack. I'm going guns rookies in the defense and the midfield, which lots of people aren't doing. Like, lots of people have mid prices absolutely everywhere. So I'm just going against that, and hopefully the guns and rookies in this section can pull off. But I think the forward line, the mid prices in there are just too good to leave alone. So got to do that. But I think I've gone definitely a lot more guns and rookies than everyone else. So that's going to be what sets me apart from most people. So that's really my strategy this year. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is my team, and yeah, I should upload soon. So I'll see you all in the next one.